What's up, everybody? The energy in Philly is already electric, and it's not just the summer heat kicking in. The Philadelphia Eagles are back in action, and if the mandatory minicamp is any indication of what's to come, we're looking at a squad that's locked in and laser focused for a redemption season. And we're kicking things off with the guy who's been nothing short of sensational, Jalen Hurts. Now, let's talk about this for a second. We all remember how Hurts lit it up in that NFC Championship game and then nearly stole the show in the Super Bowl. That level of play, it hasn't faded. In fact, it looks like he's only gotten sharper. Through every open practice session this offseason, Hurts has looked like a quarterback on a mission. He's playing clean, he's playing fast, and most importantly, he's playing smart. Word out of camp is that he went 50 for 55 in his throws with 0 interceptions. That's not just efficiency, that's surgical execution. And when you consider everything he's had to deal with, 6 different offensive coordinators. Since being drafted in 2020, it's even more impressive. Think about that. Doug Peterson in year 1, then Nick Sirianni, then Shane Steichen, Brian Johnson, Kellen Moore in 2024, and now Kevin Patullo stepping in for 2025. That's a carousel of voices in his headset. Different playbooks, different philosophies. And Hurts is still out here looking like a guy who's completely dialed in. This upcoming season will be a big test for Patullo. There's a lot of pressure on a new offensive coordinator to not only maintain what Kellen Moore brought to the table, but to innovate even further. The Eagles need creativity, rhythm, and explosiveness. That was the missing piece at times. Last year, the drop-off from Steichen to Johnson in 2023 was real, and it showed. Now the challenge is to take everything that worked with Moore and find a way to elevate it. But if Hurts keeps playing the way he has throughout this spring, it gives the entire coaching staff a massive head start. The guy just looks like he's in complete command of this offense. And let's not forget, this is the same offense that's stacked with firepower. You've got A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, arguably the most dangerous wide receiver duo in the league, Dallas Goedert at tight end, and now Saquon Barkley in the backfield. Add in the development of young receivers and a potential breakout season from a few unexpected names, and you've got the makings of an offensive juggernaut. But it all starts with number 1. And right now, Hurts isn't just holding the keys to the engine, he's driving it like a man possessed. Now, flipping to the other side of the ball, one of the standout performances from minicamp came from a guy who's quietly been climbing the ranks, cornerback Kelee Ringo. This dude is in a serious battle for that starting spot opposite rookie Quinyon Mitchell, and if Tuesday's session was any clue, Ringo isn't backing down. He came out and made plays. Not just flash in the pan plays either. We're talking tight coverage, physical jams at the line, and a few pass breakups that had everyone turning heads. One of his most impressive reps didn't even involve touching the ball. He simply locked down A.J. Brown in one-on-one coverage. That's not something you see every day, and it speaks volumes about his growth. Let's remember Ringo was once considered first-round talent coming out of Georgia. He fell in the draft, sure, but that raw potential, it never went away. He's still only 22 years old, standing at 6'2", 207 pounds. That's basically safety size with cornerback speed. He ran a 4.3 in the 40-yard dash, and you can see that explosiveness in his movement. The Eagles traded up to grab him for a reason, and based on what he's showing now, they might have gotten a steal. During the Super Bowl week, a lot of buzz surrounded his name within the coaching staff. People inside the building believe in this kid. He's got the physical tools, and now he's putting it all together. The challenge for him will be consistency, stacking good days, learning from the vets, and seizing the moment when it counts. But if minicamp was any indication, Ringo is coming into his own at just the right time. Moving to the trenches, another player who made a serious impression was second-year edge rusher Jason Hunt. Now, if you're an Eagles fan, this is a name you're going to want to remember. The team is counting on him to take a leap this season, especially since it looks like Howie Roseman isn't in any rush to trade for a big-name pass rusher. And honestly, that makes sense. The front office knows there are contracts looming. Hurts, Jalen Carter, Reed Blankenship, just to name a few. The more production you can get from young, cost-controlled players like Hunt, the more flexibility you have down the line. And look, Hunt is showing he's ready to earn his spot. He finished last season strong, flashing in both the regular season and the playoffs. According to Pro Football Focus, his playoff performance was among the best for edge rushers. 74 overall grade, 76.5 pass rush. Grade, 2 sacks, 7 hurries, and 9 total pressures. That's not just a guy getting lucky. That's a guy winning reps consistently. And at this latest minicamp, he was giving the offensive line fits. Jordan Mailata had his hands full. Hunt was bending the edge, showing burst quickness and that non-stop motor that coaches love. At one point, he forced Hurts off his spot and would have had a clean sack in live action. What's wild about his journey is that he was originally a safety in college. He started at Cornell, transferred to Houston Baptist, and eventually made the jump to edge rusher. Third-round pick with raw traits, and now we're seeing those traits translate into production. If he can build on this momentum, the Eagles might have found their next star off the edge without needing to break the bank. And you know who else is starting to turn some heads? Jordan Davis. The big man in the middle is entering a pivotal year. 4. And he's finally starting to look like the dominant force the Eagles hoped he'd be when they drafted him. Coming out of Georgia, he was a mountain. 6'6", 340 pounds, and a top 10 Heisman vote getter as a defensive tackle. The question was always whether he could be more than a 2-down run stuffer. In 2022 and most of 2023, the answer was no. But something clicked halfway through last season. The switch flipped. Suddenly, Davis wasn't just eating blocks. He was wrecking plays. His playoff performance was borderline elite. Flanking Jalen Carter, he consistently disrupted opposing lines. And the grades reflect that. Pro Football Focus gave him an 86.8 overall rating, second best among all defensive tackles. His pass rush grade? A ridiculous 90. And that's a guy who was supposedly only good against the run. But here's the kicker. He got himself into shape. Fell in love with Peloton, dropped weight, worked on his stamina, and now he's looking leaner, quicker, and a whole lot more dangerous. This isn't just a flash. This feels like a breakout coming, and it started with the work he put in behind. The scenes. Another player flying a bit under the radar but turning in a strong spring is rookie quarterback Kyle McCord. Now, let's be real. He's not competing for the starting job, but that QB3 spot, that's very much in play. And McCord is making a serious push to claim it. He's shown good velocity, poise in the pocket, and a really solid understanding of where to go with the football. This is a guy with high football IQ, legit arm strength, and the kind of pocket presence that you just don't teach. He's 6'3", 218 pounds, and he knows how to take a hit and still deliver the throw. Coming out of Syracuse and previously Ohio State, he compiled a career record of 22 wins to just 4 losses. Last year alone, he threw for nearly 4,800 yards, 34 touchdowns, and only 12 picks. And here's what makes him even more intriguing. He's not just out there winging it, he's reading defenses, making pre-snap adjustments, and throwing with anticipation. If he keeps this up, he's going to edge out Dorian Thompson-Robinson for that third-string spot, no question. And it's not just because DTR is underwhelming, he actually has tools. But he landed in a bad situation with the Browns. No structure, no support, no real chance to develop. McCord, on the other hand, has landed in a much more stable environment, and he's taking full advantage of it. The coaching staff likes what they're seeing, and with the way he's spinning it, don't be surprised if he makes that 53-man roster come September. While the stars of the roster continue to draw most of the attention, there's a fascinating battle brewing further down the depth chart that could quietly shape how dangerous this team becomes in 2025. Wide receiver depth was a concern at times last season, especially when injuries piled up. This year, that concern might transform into a legitimate strength, thanks in part to some unexpected names showing up big during minicamp. Danny Gray and Terrace Marshall are right in the thick of it, each making strong cases for those final wide receiver slots. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are swirling around the NFL world as rumors emerge about Dallas Goedert potentially leaving the Philadelphia Eagles. The talented tight end, who has been a vital piece of the Eagles' offense, reportedly feels sidelined and underutilized. sparking speculation about his future with the franchise. Goedert's name has been synonymous with solid performances and clutch catches, often stepping up when it matters most. Yet sources close to the player suggest a growing frustration behind the scenes. "They left me out here," Goedert supposedly lamented in conversations that have since leaked, hinting at a disconnect between the player and the Eagles' coaching staff or offensive strategy. While no official statement has been released by either party, the murmurs of dissatisfaction have caught the attention of fans and analysts alike. Dallas Goedert's role appeared to diminish over recent games, fueling conjecture that the Eagles might be shifting their offensive focus or planning to invest more in other players at his position. This perceived sidelining has inevitably led to questions about whether Goedert sees a long-term future in Philadelphia. Industry insiders are starting to speculate about potential destinations for Goedert should he seek a change of scenery. Teams in need of a reliable tight end who can both block and catch passes might view him as an attractive acquisition. His blend of size, agility, and experience could make him a sought-after free agent or trade target. Meanwhile, Eagles fans are left wondering whether the organization might be preparing to part ways with a player many considered a cornerstone of their offense. The timing of these rumors is intriguing, especially with the offseason approaching. Period when teams reevaluate their rosters and make bold moves to strengthen weak spots. If the reports hold any truth, the Eagles could be facing a significant transition that may reshape their offensive dynamics. On the other hand, Philadelphia might opt to address the underlying issues with Goedert internally, aiming to rekindle a productive relationship. Until any official confirmation emerges, the NFL community will be watching closely, eager to see how this story unfolds. Dallas Goedert's potential departure from the Eagles is a narrative ripe with possibilities. Whether it leads to a high-profile trade, a free agent signing elsewhere, or a surprising reconciliation in Philadelphia remains to be seen. For now, the buzz continues to build around this intriguing development, reminding us how quickly tides can turn in the fast-paced world of professional football. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.